I do want to ask you, one of your reporters, I understand, is on a cruise and tested positive for COVID-19. What can you tell us about his experience and what happened next?
Yeah, so our cruise reporter, Gene Sloan, was on the Sea Dream cruise when one of the passengers tested positive, and now 4 people around that passenger are positive. Luckily, Gene is negative, and he was the only person or only passenger on the ship wearing his mask, so we're pretty confident he's okay. But nearly 10% of the Sea Dream passengers have been infected, so it's not a good start for the restart of cruising.
No, and it probably doesn't bode well for all of these travel points that people are holding on to. What do you think this does at large to sort of people's appetite to go out and start spending them again, even though we are seeing a surge in cases, but even a few months down the road if we see an improvement?
Well, travel is going to come back. I think what this reminds us is that it's critical to wear a mask, even on a cruise. You know, a lot of countries have maintained the virus by requiring PCR nasal testing, not the rapid tests that they had on the ship. And even when I went to French Polynesia, they gave all visitors a test to take 4 days into their trip as well. So I personally feel more comfortable traveling internationally than I do within the U.S., since we pretty much have no policies here.
Hey, I wonder, Brian, if you think that we have record point balances right now, given people spending on their credit cards, accumulating points, and having nowhere to use them.
Yeah, it's so true. I call that mileage and point hoarding, and it's an epidemic in itself because people have all these points and they don't know how to use them. So we have seen, Chase, for example, is now allowing customers to use their points for statement credit, groceries. So the credit card companies have been loosening up the ease in which you can use points for non-travel, but I still think they need to do a little bit more because even though travel has been coming back and a vaccine will certainly help, there's a long way before most people will feel comfortable traveling.
Well, but I wonder, Brian, if it comes time where travel is easier and people are ready to go places, if the airlines are going to be like, look, we need the revenue so badly, we're going to tighten restrictions on point use.
No, it's actually the opposite. So the airlines actually have gotten through this crisis, and hotels, by selling billions of dollars worth of these points to the credit card companies. And in order to keep that gravy train going, they need people to use their points. They actually don't want you to hoard your points. They realize the revenue from that sale when you use it. So on the opposite, I expect to see airlines, and we've seen this, opening up more award seats to packed planes. They want every single seat full. So it has been a good time for those using points and miles.
Brian, I wonder what's the most popular card at the moment? Are people sort of switching away from their travel cards and perhaps getting an Apple card or something else that gives them different kinds of rewards?
The Apple card hasn't been as big of a hit as I thought it would be, or, simply because it's Apple. But, cashback is making a comeback, I think, even for travelers, because when you have so many travel points and you don't have plans to travel, I do recommend get a 2% cashback card so you can realize the gains right then and there. The Capital One Venture card is also one that I've been using because it allows you to use your points on a wider range of points. But, the Amex Platinum just came out with a new offer, and that's still one of the top cards.
Brian, thanks for joining us. Always appreciate your insights.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.